Today we'll be learning how to create audio specifically for a VTH, aka a indoor monitor station for a video intercom. Now in this case, you will need a few things in order to do this. So you need some sort of audio conversion software. In this case, we're going to be using Audacity. You're going to need a sound in some sort of format. In this case, we got an MP3. And then we have to abide by a couple rules. So in this case, the audio file has to be less than 100 kilobytes and needs to be in a .pcm format. So we're going to be showing you how to do that. So first, we're going to go ahead and open up Audacity. Once we open that up, we're going to go up to File, Open. We're going to find our MP3. So doorbell ding. We'll add it in. So right away we can see it's stereo audio. We're going to do away with that because stereo means there's two different soundtracks. So it means the file size is going to be bigger. So step one is to go up to Tracks at the top of Audacity, go into Mix, click Mix Down Stereo to Mono, and you're going to see it compresses it into a single file, or a single audio stream, I should say. Next thing we're going to want to do is adjust our project rate hertz. So this is going to be essentially sound quality. We're going to drop it down to about 16,000. Now it is important to know that each audio file in itself is going to be a little bit different. If it's a longer file, you might have to lower the quality even more. If it's a short file, you might be able to leave the quality really high. So it's not a perfect science. Depending on the audio track you're trying to do, you might have to play around with it. So at that point, we've gone ahead, we've made that adjustment, project rate down to 16,000. We've compressed the track into a single audio stream. Now we're going to go ahead, we're going to do File, we're going to go to Export, and in the export options, we're going to choose Export Audio because we're not going to use any of the pre-made formats here. Once we go to export audio, just give your audio a name. We're going to call it doorbell. And then in this case, you want to make sure you're save as type. So you notice if you go to save as type, you got a few options like WAV, MP3, OGG, FLAC, etc. Now in this case, we need PCM. You'll notice there is no PCM option. So what we're going to do is choose other uncompressed files. And then down below you have your formatting options. So we're going to leave it as raw headerless. Now mine's set on that because I've already done a few things here, but you'll notice here once again we don't have a PCM or a .pcm option. So we're going to choose raw format, which just leaves it no container, no anything. It's just going to be essentially a bare audio file. And then down under the encoding, we're going to do PCM because that's the type of audio we need. Now, in this case, I'm going to go to 8-bit audio, mainly because the higher the bit, the higher the quality, the bigger the file size, etc. So for the sake of this, I'm going to bring it all the way down to 8-bit. It doesn't impact in this case. But once again, you can play around with it. You can leave it 32-bit, 24-bit, etc. and see kind of what you end up with. And then you'll notice at the end what it's going to output after you choose all these things is doorbell.raw. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to save it. And now on this page, it's going to ask you to fill in like the artist information. This is if you were doing like a song, so that if it was playing on a phone or some sort of player, it would actually show the artist name. This is unimportant for what we're doing, so you can just skip it and basically say OK. Then you're going to notice we have in the folder that I saved it, we have doorbell.raw. And you'll see that our file size is 53.4 kilobytes. So we've hit the right size. Now the key thing here is because it's a raw format, all we have to do is go in and doorbell.pcm, allow it to change. Now, if you don't have your file extension showing, you can always go up to View in Windows 10 and then check the box for file name extensions so you can see them. That way it's easy to rename them. So now that we have doorbell.pcm, I'm just going to go ahead and copy it. Now, what you're going to do in order to get this working is you'll need an SD card inside your VTH. In this case, I have the VTH or I have the SD card currently taken out. So we're going to grab our doorbell.pcm. I'm going to move over to our SD card. And then you'll notice I have a folder on the SD card called ring. So that's important. That's where you need to place the file in order for it to be detected. So you can see I already have a doorbell.pcm because I've already done this for testing, but that's it. So essentially SD card, on the SD card, make sure you have a folder called ring, and that is where you're going to toss your PCM audio files. So that's it for the video. I will include some additional screenshots in the article on how, once you input the SD card in the VTH, how you would modify the ringtones and what it's going to look like. Thank you.